Page 61, Solemn Procession. Now on page 60, they're showing you or talking about recognizing second inversions. A second inversion is where the two notes close together are on the top and the bottom notes further away. We're using second inversion chords here in Solemn Procession in the right hand. Not all the way through it, just sometimes, because in the second measure, that's root position. Right? And then third measure, second inversion again, and then root position. In Solemn Procession, starting with the right hand, I'm going to recommend a slightly different fingering. They're not showing you a lot, they're just saying 1, 3, 5. A lot of times with chords, that's what you can use and get away with it. But I'm going to recommend in the second measure, you do a 1, 2, 4. Top note's the melody. It just helps me feel the melody a little better. The last measure of the first line, 1, 2, 4 again. Now I could do more with the fingering here, but I'm not going to bother. If you can at least get this much, this would be nice. Second line, first measure is 1, 3, 5. But in the second measure is 1, 2, 4 for the first one. And then 1, 3, 5. 1, 2, 4. And then 1, 3, 5. And 1, 2, 4. Because I'm using these two fingerings a lot. So it's here. Now in the third line, I recommend you start out with 1, 2, 4. Because I want the fifth finger for the next measure. And then second measure, second note is 1, 2, 4. 1, 3, 5. 1, 2, 4. 1, 3, 5. Last line, now it's 1, 3, 5. Because the next one is 1, 2, 4. Now I'm going to switch it up a bit. I could have done this earlier, I didn't. You could do it earlier, but it's up to you. Second measure, last line. The first one is 1, 2, 4. And the second one, you can change it to 1, 3, 5 if you want. So you can do a 1, 2, 4 on the next measure. So we had that passage, the second measure, the last line, those two chords. We had a similar situation in the first line, second measure, where the first measure we're here, and then I said 1, 2, 4, second measure. Well, here you could just as easily do a 1, 3, 5 on the second note of that measure. This 1, 2, 4, and so you could do a 1, 2, 4 on the next measure, and then a 1, 3, 5 for the quarter notes. So we're kind of walking our way down here. I'll leave it up to you how much you do with the fingering. Again, I don't know how much you're struggling to get through it, but if you're getting it pretty well, I would encourage you to try the fingering I'm suggesting to you out. Write it, take a pencil and just write them in. Alternate ways to finger it and experiment a little bit and see what you think. In the left hand, you can pretty much follow what they're telling you to do. There at the beginning, look out on these first three measures. You see, or the first line actually, it's 5, 1. Then, while you're holding that down, stretch your hand out till you get the fifth finger on the A, and then thumb on the E. Stretch your hand out again so you get the F. Now, just do the fingering they're showing you there, it's fine. This is legato pedaling, except at the end of the second line, we're ending a phrase, we're ending a section, and going on, so you want to break there. At the end of the third line, you lift the pedal up as you play the second beat, so we don't muddy up the quarter notes. We want those to ring out clearly. Then the last line, just pedal it the way they're showing you. There is a DC al fine at the bottom, so we're going to go back up and play the first two lines again. The fine is at the end of the second line. Cut time. So we're counting half notes, right? 1, 2. 1, 2, and 1, 2. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Like so. So I'm going to give us 4 counts and we'll begin. Hands where they go. Foot's on the pedal, we're ready to go. 1, 2, ready, and go. And